We're here for a live Raw recap. Soloing it tonight, also in a different location, so it looks a little different on my camera and sounds a little different. That might be why. I'll be back in my YouTube studio probably in next week, or at least by Dynamite. Sorry for the absence, but we are back and ready to do a quick recap of this week's Raw. So, our opening segment was Logan Paul cutting a promo. He gets interrupted by Gunther. Basically, Gunther tells him he respects him and he's a businessman, and goes back and forth. And as he's going through that, he also tells him that he takes the fact that Logan Paul thinks he's better than Gunther personally because he thinks he can beat Jey Uso and Gunther couldn't, and that if he beats Jey Uso, it'll be very personal. Gunther leaves, and as Logan Paul is talking smack about Gunther leaving, Jey Uso sneaks in behind him and super kicks him and knocks him out. Interesting to see where they're doing this. They're doing a good job of building the title scene for sure around Jey Uso and Logan Paul and the people that are going to go up against him. Next, we have Penta and AJ Styles versus the Judgment Day. Decent match back and forth, of course. AJ Styles and Penta and Finn Balor. How can you not have a great match? But we end up with a disqualification because Grande Americana, not Chad Gable, Grande Americana, interferes and headbutts Penta, and which allows the Judgment Day to go ahead and get the pin. Decent match, like I said. How can it not be with the people involved? But really disappointed in the ending, and I hope they go somewhere with this Gunther and Americana thing soon. With this Penta and Americana thing soon, because it's kind of getting a little stale. Then we have our first Money in the Bank qualifier match on Raw, and it's Becky Lynch, Roxanne Perez, and Natalya. All three women back and forth in the match. Decent match. Natalya applies a sharpshooter, ends up on both opponents at one point towards the end of the match. She nearly gets Roxanne Perez to tap out. As she is about to, Roxanne looks like she's reversing it. It gets reversed again. And then Becky Lynch slides in and hits the manhandle slam on Natalya. Looks like she's going to get the pin, 1, 2, but no. Lyra Valkyrie comes out, pulls Becky out of the ring, attacks her. They go back and forth around the ring while Roxanne is selling her knee. We have Natalya, kind of going back and forth, trying to get Becky back in the ring. Becky starts to slide in. And then you have Lyra pull her out again. And as Natalya is focusing on that, she gets hit with the pop rocks from Roxanne, and Roxanne is qualified for the Money in the Bank. So now we've got Roxanne, and yeah, good stuff. I was really enjoying that. Next, we have Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Starks and Kairi Sane, which was another Money in the Bank qualifier. Kind of out of order here, but I wanted to hit this one too. First off, Zoe Starks looks like she might have injured her knee again. The best wishes to her. I hope it's not as serious as it looked. It was a nasty looking injury for sure. So I'm hoping she's okay and recovers back from it. I know she's probably had a rough one with two of her best friends and cohorts getting released, and now she's got this injury. So hopefully she gets back through with it. They come back from their break, and Michael Cole basically announced that it's going to be a one-on-one Rhea Ripley versus Kairi Sane. Again, this is the second qualifier match. I went a little out of order. I just wanted to hit the Money in the Bank qualifiers together. And so we end up, after the break, like I said, it goes to a one-on-one match. And we get a decent match between Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley. Obviously, wasn't the way they wanted it to go. You can see the disappointment in both women's faces. Nobody likes an injury. Injuries are never good. And they both looked a little upset about it. But we do get Rhea Ripley qualifying for the Money in the Bank match. So it's good. It's Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Roxanne Perez right now. Really interesting stuff. Between those matches, though, we did get Grayson Waller versus Sheamus. I did skip it because it wasn't, too much of a huge match. Kind of went how you expected. Sheamus beating the crap out of him, gets the win over Grayson Waller, which then basically teases more of the friction between Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. If you're into that and that storyline, cool. It wasn't a whole lot for me. It was what it was. Last match of the night was Jey Uso and Braun Breaker. Now, throughout the night, we've had plenty of promos. Like I said, they did a really good job of Seth Rollins basically saying that if whoever is going to be the champion coming out of um, the next Saturday Night main event, and then going on to whatever the next step is, whoever the winner of that's going to be, they're just holding it for him. Paul Heyman cuts a promo on Jay that he's a part-time champion. That the plan is obviously for them to become for Seth Rollins to become the champion, and that Braun Breaker isn't in the match tonight to win the title. He's in the match to hurt Jey Uso and soften him up for either Logan Paul or Gunther, whoever's next, which it'll be Logan Paul at the next Saturday Night main event, and then obviously whoever gets out, I'm guessing Money in the Bank will go against Gunther, which I'm assuming it'll be Jey Uso and Gunther again, and you'll get Gunther losing again to Jey Uso, which is an interesting way to do it. But that's me. If you listen to the channel and you follow along, you know I'm not a huge Jey Uso fan. I get that he sells a ton of merchandise. I understand that the fans love him. He's just not my cup of tea. I find him kind of annoying. But anyway, I won't get into that too much. So we do get that backstage. We also get a backstage segment um, where Finn Balor brings Roxanne Perez into the Judgment Day and is basically saying that he wants to introduce her and, kind of teasing that she's going to be coming to the Judgment Day. And with Liv Morgan out, it was interesting to see her give noogie, his chicken noogies to Dominic. Lots of comments from the commentators too about Dominic not being out for the match. So interesting development there. Are we going to see Finn break off and do his own thing with Roxanne Perez and start a new Judgment Day, or are we going to see Liv come back and accept her? Just kind of curious where that's going to go. That's kind of the main points on that. Then we get Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker at the end. Again, back and forth. Braun Breaker is just a beast, man. That guy really, when he gets, I don't want to say when he gets out of the Seth Rollins things, because I think him and Paul Heyman is a good match, but I think they should strap a rocket to this guy. Like, his in-ring stuff is really good. It's really fun to watch, and I do enjoy it. Fantastic stuff. But this match goes to a disqualification. We get a DQ finish because Seth Rollins ends up jumping Jey Uso. And then you get Rollins and Braun Breaker just beating up Jey Uso in the ring. Sami Zayn's music hits. He runs out to try to make the save, but because they beat down Jey Uso so much, it's a 2-on-1. But guess what? CM Punk's music hits. CM Punk comes out, stands next to Sami Zayn, and we get those two get in the ring and beat off Rollins. Ooh, that didn't sound right. They don't beat him off. They chase off Rollins and Braun Breaker, beating them down. Out through the crowd they go to close out Raw. It goes to a shot with Jey Uso in the ring. He's, getting his hand raised, and out of nowhere, Logan Paul comes. Boom, one hit punch, knocks him out. And then that's where we end, is Logan Paul smiling down the camera and Jey Uso on the ground. Overall, it's a Raw that happened. It wasn't one of my favorite Raws. I thought it was kind of slow and boring. I ended up getting myself distracted a lot. And it is what it is. I mean, those of you that know, I am not the WWE head. I do enjoy more wrestling in my stuff, but I will give them props where props is due. I dig the intertwining story they're telling with Gunther, Jey Uso, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins. So it's kind of turned some stuff around. I would kind of like to see it not the pay-per-view. I think it's Saturday night's main event where you've got Sami Zayn and CM Punk versus Rollins and Braun Breaker. I kind of want to mind seeing Sami Zayn flip and turn on CM Punk and then, join Paul Heyman's crew, because right now Paul Heyman's crew looks like a bunch of punks. They're not dominant like they were that first night. I mean, they took out Punk, they took out Roman Reigns, and Reigns is going to come back with a vengeance. So if you're going to have Reigns, Uso, CM Punk, and Sami Zayn against just those two, it makes it kind of tough. So maybe it's going to be Logan Paul. Maybe Logan Paul joins the Paul Heyman crew. I don't know. It's a possibility. But I am curious to see where that goes. So they got my attention there. I gave overall this Raw a 2 beards. Like I said, I did find myself getting distracted quite a bit. Uh, the injury is very unfortunate to Zoe Starks. I hope thoughts and prayers to her. Would love to see her make a recovery and back in the ring. Um, but yeah, so that's a quick rundown of what happened on Raw. Overall, 2 beards for me. Wasn't the worst Raw I've ever seen, but definitely not one of the best. A little below average. Kind of not a whole lot going on to it with the money event qualifiers coming and everything. So, but there was some good story driven stuff with Gunther and, like I said, the main event title. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below in the comments. Let me know. Did you really like this Raw? Am I wrong? Give me the hate, right? Y'all know I'm not a big WWE fan. I do watch it, but it's not my favorite thing to watch as far as wrestling goes. I watch it because I watch all wrestling, but it tends to not be my cup of tea. And LAJR is out tonight, so I don't get him arguing with me about why it was one of the best Raws ever. Miss you, LAJR. Get back on the show. We'll start knocking these out more frequently. But again, let me know what you think down below, down in those comments down there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and check us out wherever you get your podcast from. No Shave Man Cave. We're on Instagram and Twitter, NSMC_podcast. If you want to email us, no shave man cave at gmail.com, Facebook, No Shave Man Cave. And right about now, you'll get a little pop up here that YouTube thinks is a video you'll like. Make sure you check it out. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, help us grow, keep the algorithm going. Remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the floor.